Is your coffee drink keeping weight on you? So this will fall into that category, which I've talked about many times on the show, of trying as best we can not to drink any calories, not to drink any extra calories, okay? So I'm not vilifying coffee. As a matter of fact, coffee can be a wonderful part of your consumption each day, but it's what we do with the coffee, like add-ons, right? Syrup and whipped cream and flavors and added sugar and so forth, right? So a friend of mine sent me an article about a month ago on a coffee drink offered by one of the big coffee chains and how many calories are actually in it. So it's a pumpkin swirl coffee drink with cream, okay? The medium one, looking up online, the medium one has 890 calories. Call it 900 to make it easy. 900 calories in a medium drink. And the large has 1,180 calories. And that's, of course, this drink with added cream, right? For the medium one, that's 147 grams of sugar. In the large, it's 192 grams of sugar. So let's just park on that for a moment. Even it out. The medium is 900 calories. The large is 1,100 calories. Let's just call it 1,000 calories. So for the average female of reasonable movement, not super sedentary, but not super athletic, the recommended calories per day is about 2,000. So quick math, you've basically taken in half of your calories that you need for the day just to keep yourself at a level in one drink. So it is something to consider. Again, I'm not vilifying coffee. By the way, black coffee all by itself is anywhere from between 2 and 5 calories. That's it. Okay? So it's not the coffee, it's the stuff we do to it. So for female, that's like half of the calories that you should take in per day. And the average male, again, not super sedentary, not super athletic, it might be about 2,500 calories per day. Of course, if you're a lot smaller and lighter, that would be a little fewer. If you're heavier, it's a little bit more. And the more athletic you are, you get more calories and so forth, right? So that's already 1,000 out of 2,500 for a male. That's a lot of calories, right? This is another popular drink. It's a frap coffee drink, like a frappuccino kind of thing. And you can look these up online. This is readily available. 420 calories of this frappuccino drink. And at the same place, Starbucks, a hot chocolate, a white hot chocolate, I believe it is, 440 calories. So only about half the calories of this other drink here, but still, that's a consideration if you're looking at your body and you're looking at your caloric intake and you're trying to make changes and you want to keep your heart healthy and your brain working and so forth. You need to look out for these things. It's particularly the sugar that should concern you. So you want to look at that sugar intake. And if you want to do a deeper dive in this, a couple of great resources that I've talked about in the past is from Dr. Robert Lustig. He's the pediatric endocrinologist. He wrote the book Fat Chance, right? And what prompted him writing that book was the epidemic of infant obesity. So that's a very interesting read. And then he had a follow-up book called The Hacking of the American Mind, which is all about how we get addicted to certain things in our lives, not just food and not just sugar, but other things like screens and video time and so on and so forth. Another very interesting book. He's not the only author talking about this. There's many, many others, myself included, that are talking about all of these added sugars, right? So again, I pile these coffee drinks into the try not to drink any calories. That includes, I recommend no soda, or only on special occasions. I specifically recommend no diet soda, diet drinks, diet iced teas, and so forth. And sport drinks, unless you're some sort of an athlete and you're going after more endurance-related competitions where you need sport drink intake, for most of us, just drinking it haphazardly through the day, really bad idea, all kinds of metabolic reasons for that, and that kind of makes sense. Now I wanted to talk about cost, meaning financial cost. So I'd say a dozen years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I had a staff person in my office, and she was 19 at the time. And we were talking about money, and we were talking about coffee. So she was talking about money woes and having trouble with money. Now, she was drinking a coffee drink. Again, this is 12, 15 years ago, so coffee drinks have evolved even more into these frap ice cream sundae kind of coffee things, right? Anyway, so she was drinking this coffee, and it just dawned on me. I said, "Do you get one of those every day?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Do you get one on the weekends as well?" She said, "Yeah, I get it every day, 7 days a week." I thought, interesting. What does that cost you? Again, 12, 15 years ago. She said, $5. So I took out the calculator. I did 365 days times $5. I didn't say anything. I just gave her the calculator screen. And on the calculator screen was $1,825. And she looked at it and she said, she just kind of looked at me inquisitively. And I said, "That's how much money per year you're spending on your coffee drink." And she was like, she couldn't believe it, how much money that was. Nor could I. I was actually pretty surprised about that. And that was a $5 coffee drink. You can easily spend $7 on a coffee drink, which is $2,555 per year just on your coffee drink. I'm just saying, if you want to look at that, if that's something that interests you, there you go. So there's some financial cost to that, but just keep in mind, these coffee drinks that just seem to get bigger with more sugar and more additives and more whatever is in there, they can be keeping weight on your body, and it's just something to consider. I'm Dr. Scott Fuller.